Lexington Cemetery. Let's do this. Lexington Cemetery, Lexington, Kentucky. Several graves we're going to stop here, look at, pay our respects at. But I chose this specific gravesite to be the first of the day for me. Through some dark times, I've lived and learned that laughter truly is the best medicine. So, I'm here to see Mr. James Albert Varney Jr. Jim Varney was an actor. He always really wanted to be a serious actor, but he never really got those roles. He kind of had the perfect face to show emotions. So he was very over exaggerated on things, you know. Slapstick comedy, that kind of thing, came very, very easy to him. But Jim Varney is probably best known for his character, Ernest P. Worrell. He's probably best known for his character of Ernest. Ernest had several movies. He became a superstar, really, regionally, before that character even became known to the mainstream. He was a spokesman for, like, dairies and car lots and all kinds of different things. But he was always true to who he was, you know. He had a recurring role on the Johnny Cash show in the 70s. He obviously had Ernest going for him. He later played Jed Clampett in the Beverly Hillbillies. Most folks nowadays, though, they're going to know him as the voice of Slinky Dog from Toy Story and Toy Story 2. Unfortunately, his voice is no longer in that series because he passed away. James Albert Varney Jr., born June the 15th, 1949. He left us February the 10th of 2000. He was 50 years old, and he died of lung cancer. There's some pretty cool mementos left here. Some folks, a couple I really don't understand, but I will talk about the ones that I do. Obviously, no regrets. Know what I mean, Vern? Right? Not sure what the car is about, or the mellow yellow.
Hey, Vern. Whew, it sure is hot up here, Vern. I bet you'd like a cold, smooth mellow yellow right now, wouldn't you? Yeah, I just bet you would. You know, Vern, there's nothing like a good old cold mellow yellow when you're all hot and sweaty. I think it sure beats that Mountain Dew. You know what that sound means in Russia, Vern? Empty. Vern!
But there is a bust of Shakespeare. Shakespeare is the one role that Jim always wanted, but never got. That sucks. Mr. Jim Varney. Jim, I thank you, my friend. You're a legend. You'll always be a legend. You were gone way too soon. Thank you for everything you did for everyone. And I hope you're having a great laugh on the other side. Something a little unexpected. This tree is placed here by the National Arborist Association and the International Society of Arboriculture? I don't know how to say that one. They jointly recognize that this tree in this bicentennial year as having lived here at the time of the signing of our Constitution. So up here it says 1787 to 1987. And so we're, 37 years past that. She's seen her better days, but wow. Here's the backside of this teeny tiny. Goodness gracious, that's huge. Unexpected? Cool. On to Henry Clay. I prefer to go off the cuff when I'm at these cemeteries. I'll do a little research. I know what I want to say. I'll piece it all together. Politics, no. Ain't my bag. This guy, he's up there somewhere. This guy, his name is everywhere. Henry Clay High School, his Ashland estate is out by where Coach Calipari used to live. So I've got some notes. I'm just going to read those to you here. Mr. Henry Clay, he was born in Virginia and he moved to Kentucky around 1797. He earned his license to practice law in Virginia, but he put it to good use here in the Commonwealth. As I did my research for Henry Clay, two things caught my eye. First, he was appointed to fill expired vacancies in Congress not once, but twice. And the second time, Clay was appointed as the Speaker of the House on his very first day in office. Could you imagine that happening these days? Okay, the other thing that caught my eye was that Henry Clay ran and was defeated for the office of the presidency in 1824, 1832, 1840, 1844, and 1848. Like, what? What? That's nuts. Anyway, that would never happen again also in this day and age. The Great Compromiser, as he was known, was a big part of keeping slavery in the South. As Western states began to grow and join the Union, Clay did a lot of the heavy lifting to leave a path that Abraham Lincoln would illuminate as he freed the slaves. His work prevented a civil war for more than a decade. Wow. Very important fella. I'm just not much on politics. I wanted to include him though, so. Thank you for paving the way, Mr. Clay. Famous athletes from Eastern Kentucky are not the most common thing. Especially ones that start at the University of Kentucky, win an Olympic gold medal, become a sheriff, create a bus line that the University of Kentucky still uses. But from what I can see online, piecing together from Find a Grave, is it's right in front of the Houston graves plot. And there is a spot right here that has a little greener grass. So I'm not sure if that's who I'm looking for or not. So we're just going to say it is, and I'm going to step over here and I'm going to tell you a little bit about him. All right. Born in Harlan, Kentucky on July 14th, 1926, was Wallace Clayton Wawa Jones. So what made Wawa such a legend? It really boils down to 5 or 6 things. First, he played both football and basketball at the University of Kentucky. Cool. That's happened before though, right? Yeah, probably so. But not when you're coached by Paul Bear Bryant and Adolph Rupp. Wawa was an All-American for both teams. That's wild to even contemplate. He won back-to-back NCAA championships with Coach Rupp, as he was part of the star. He's one of those, if not the biggest star, of the Fabulous Five. Thirdly, in his 4 years on the Wildcats basketball team, the team had a record of, you ready for this? 4 years. The team had a record of 130 wins versus 10 losses. We used to have 10-loss Tubby. Oh, sorry, Tubby. We used to have 10-loss Tubby. We ran him out of town. Rupp had 2.5 losses a year in those 4 years. Anyway, next he was a member of the 1948 Olympic basketball team that won a gold medal, also coached by Adolph Rupp. And Wawa is the only player at the University of Kentucky to have his number 27 retired in both. Yeah. Right, George. Basketball and football. It's crazy. It's crazy. Jones eventually started a charter bus company in 1978, and his goal was to provide buses to the University of Kentucky for all of their sports teams. Bluegrass Tours is what he created. It's still in use today, actually, and it's still owned by the Jones family. Little tractor action here. Also, Wawa was elected as the Fayette County Sheriff in 1953. Sheriff. Huh. And he was nearly an elected official in the House of Representatives in 1956. There wasn't much he couldn't do if he put his mind to it, right? That's most everyone. Probably not me, but most everyone. So, Wawa was obviously a pretty incredible person. And he left us July 27th, 2014. So just past 10 years ago we lost him. But he's not the only Wildcat we're here for. A couple more we're going to swing by and see. Onward. Probably not upward. Onward. If you're a Kentucky Wildcat, I don't have to introduce this next guy, but I'm going to. Born and raised in Cynthiana, Kentucky, not too far from our home in Paris. Mr. Joe B. Hall was born. He was a stellar athlete. He actually only played 1 year at the University of Kentucky before he transferred. But in 1972, I believe it was, Coach Adolph Rupp was forced into retirement at 70. So they brought in a Kentucky boy who happened to have toured with the Harlem Globetrotters? Really? Really? That's what it says. That's pretty freaking awesome. But Coach Hall took the Cats to the 78 championship. Old Goose Givens, big left-handed stroke. He coached them from, I believe, 72 to 85, maybe. He took us to 4 Final Fours, countless SEC championships and the like. But Coach Hall, I have never encountered anyone have a bad word to say about Joe B. Hall, whether it be in real life, whether it be in conversation, whether it be online, whether it be newspapers. Nobody. To me, that's what being a Kentucky gentleman is all about. Mr. Joe B. Hall. His wife, Catherine. Oh, look, they don't have Joe's death date on there yet. That's odd. I'll look that up for you in a minute. His wife is here, Catherine Dennis. She passed away in 2007. So to finish my thought about Coach Hall, since his death date wasn't on his stone yet, he left us at age 93 on January the 15th, 2022. That's quite a long time. It's a bummer. Joe B. Hall was a good sport, a good person, and he even had a radio show in his later years with an arch rival. Yeah. Mr. Denny Crum, who was the coach of University of Louisville. He was a very successful coach here in the state of Kentucky as well. There we have Mr. Joe B. Hall. We'll sneak by Wildcat Lodge, take a peek at his statue too. I mean, we're in Lexington, right? Why not? Who knows? Maybe we'll see Mark Pope. I wonder if he'll have that funny hat on. Wrong Pope, wrong Pope. Here we go. Check out this fantastic statue, Mr. Joe B. Hall. Coach always had that rolled up paper. What a cool dude. So this next guy, if you've ever touched a basketball, if you've ever been to a concert in Kentucky, you've probably heard the name. Adolph Rupp. right? Adolph was the coach for the Cats for 42 years. He won 4 NCAA championships, and he's a member of the National Basketball Hall of Fame, just like Coach Hall, who I'm not sure if I said that about, and if I didn't, I apologize. Here is the family of Adolph Rupp, and there's a couple things I want to tell you before I part, but let's say pay respects. There is Mr. Rupp himself. Here is his lovely wife, Esther. Here's their son, who everyone knew as Herky. And here was his wife. There's no date, so she may still be with us. Linda Effington Rupp. That was Herky's wife. So the cool things, other than, all the winning and championships and all that good stuff that Mr. Rupp did, he was under a pretty good learning tree, if you will, when he played his college basketball. He played 1 year at Kansas under the legendary coach Phog Allen. The coolest thing about that, though, who was on the staff with Phog Allen? I wonder who that would have been. Oh, that's right. Dr. James Naismith, the man that created the game. That's unbelievable, isn't it? But those are the thoughts I wanted to share with you on Coach Rupp. He coached before my time, so I really never got to watch his style. Of course, I've watched highlight reels and such, but he built the program into what Calipari destroyed. Oh, sorry, did I say that out loud? What Mark Pope is going to turn into something amazing again. Mr. Adolph Frederick Rupp. That's a big, big name around here. Big, big name. Big, big name. So this grave is a bonus grave. Really, it doesn't have anything to do with Kentucky whatsoever. Just the fact that this gentleman and his wife moved to Kentucky in their latter years. He was born in Chicago, looks like 1928. He passed away in 1999. His name is Ralph W. Foodie. He's way up there. Hopefully you can see the name of Ralph and Jan. So why did I include him? Because he's probably the coolest person buried here. And I'm just going to say one thing, and I'll put in the clip for those that don't know. There's a movie series that was made with a young man by the name of Macaulay Culkin. I'm talking about the Home Alone movies, right? So I'm just going to say it. Keep the change, you filthy animal.
Who is it?
It's me, Snakes. I got the stuff.
Leave it on the doorstep and get the hell out of here.
All right, Johnny. But what about my money?
What money?
AC said you had some dough for me.
That a fact. How much do I owe you?
AC said 10%.
Too bad AC ain't in charge no more.
What do you mean?
Guys, I'm eating junk and watching rubbish. You better come out and stop me.
He'll call you when he gets out. Hey, I tell you what I'm going to give you, Snakes. I'm going to give you to the count of 10 to get your ugly, yellow, no good keister off my property before I pump your guts full of lead.
All right, Johnny, I'm sorry. I'm going.
1, 2, 10.
the change, you filthy animal.
That's right. You know what I'm talking about now. Yeah. Angels with dirty faces. And then there was a second one in Home Alone 2 that he played a part in. Those weren't real movies. They were specifically shot for Home Alone, for those scenes where he's watching crazy shows and eating junk. Come on out, guys. But yeah, I just thought that was really cool. I'm really, it's awesome that they chose Kentucky to be their forever home. It's pretty cool. Ralph W. Foodie. Keep the change, you filthy animal.